Seven is a brand new movie from Paramount that just hit theaters. The film is co-written and it is directed by Kevin Williamson, who is the original screenwriter of Screams 1, 2, and 4, but this is his first time directing a film in the franchise. The film follows once again Sydney Prescott, who once again is played by Neve Campbell. She has moved away from Woodsboro and has a brand new life, which includes her husband, who in the movie is Mark, played by Joel McHale, and her daughter Tatum, played by Isabel May, obviously named after Sydney's best friend Tatum from the very first Scream movie. But once again, things go wrong. People are dying in this new neighborhood as they are after, of course, the Prescott family. Gail Weathers, back from the other first six movies, played by Courtney Cox, returns as she teams up with the returning members of the last two Scream movies, the twins Mindy and Chad, played by Mason Gooding and Jasmine Savoy Brown, as they all try to figure out who is Ghostface and why are they committing these killings. Also in the movie, you have McKenna Grace as Hannah and Celeste O'Connor as Chloe, people part of Tatum's new friend group. The film is an hour and 54 minutes and is rated R. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new review here at Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Stinenberg. If you guys are new, please hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so notified when my videos hit the channel. I do movie, TV show reviews, added theater reactions, movie franchise rankings, and every Monday I break down the box office. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new. Comment down below. What are your guys' thoughts on Scream 7? Did you like it? Did you not like it? I am going to be doing a full ranking of the movie, so don't tell me where this ranks for you in the Scream franchise. But let me know, did you like it? Did you not like it? If you want to talk spoilers, please leave a spoiler tag and then write your comments. I don't want people here who are trying to see my thoughts before they go see Scream 7. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And also, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. So before I get into my full review of the movie, I do think it's fair for a lot of people out there to know the behind the scenes issues before we get to the movie. And really the backstory of how really this movie was made. So obviously this movie goes in a completely new direction from where we were when Scream 6 ended. So a couple years ago, obviously they greenlit Scream 7 off of the successes of 5 and 6 with the same team on screen and behind the screen, behind the cameras for Scream 7. Now, Spyglass and Paramount, due to Melissa Barrera, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but she was fired off of Scream 7 due to her particular beliefs. We'll leave that. You guys obviously know what that was. And then Jenna Ortega, due to Melissa Barrera being fired, also said, I'm not coming back either because of that. Then the old directing team of Radio Silence, who directed Ready or Not, and Abigail, who made the last two Scream movies, they then left the project after struggling to come up with a new story with a whole new cast and ensemble and things of that nature. So Paramount became desperate. They rehired Kevin Williamson. This is the first time he's working on a Scream movie in 15 years. They bring back Neve Campbell, who, due to contract issues, did not come back for Scream 6, but she made a $7 million paycheck for Scream 7. Courtney Cox was paid $2 million. There was a $500,000 rewrite and reshoots and stuff for Scream 7 due to the complete overhaul of what the actual direction of the franchise was going. And that is where we landed with Scream 7. Did want to say that before I get into my full review. But I'm a massive fan of the Scream franchise. I actually can't believe I haven't ranked these movies on the channel before. Can't wait to do that this weekend because I rewatched all six movies coming into this one over the last week. I think this probably is the most consistent horror franchise of all time. There aren't a lot of even like bad, there's really not, coming into this movie, not a bad film in the franchise. I enjoy all of the first six movies, even though the hectic behind the scenes nature of Scream 7, the fact that Williamson was back writing and directing and you had Neve Campbell back in the leading role, I still had hope that Scream 7 could continue that success. But sadly, guys, this is the most disappointed I've ever been watching a Scream movie. This is not an all-time bad movie. This is not going to be one of the worst movies I'll see all year, not even close. But from a Scream fan perspective, this is the most underwhelming Scream movie I believe that they have ever made. Now, there are some pretty good elements going on here in this movie. Sydney Prescott is still, Neve Campbell as Sydney Prescott is still great. She really brings it her all in this movie. You can tell there's a lot of passion there with her performance, wanting this to be good. Campbell also serves as a producer on the movie. And she's very good. She's playing this mom who obviously experienced everything that happened in the other films. Her daughter understands or thinks she understands what happened with her mom. Tatum thinks she understands what Sydney went through based on the Stab movies, but Sydney hasn't opened up completely with her specifically about things. And there's kind of a disconnect there between mother and daughter about who's tough and how to get through these situations and how to is Sydney overprotecting her? Is that helping her? Is that not helping her? I think where Sydney is at the point of this movie does make a lot of sense. And Neve Campbell is really good in this movie. Courtney Cox, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, all the returning characters I think are really good. Even Joel McHale, I think, is a really good addition to the film as Sydney's husband. Does feel like someone who Sydney would want to be in a relationship with, would settle down with. I thought he was really good as well. The film also, I think, might have the most gruesome kills of the franchise, which I thoroughly enjoyed. There are even some kills that was like, usually in these other Scream movies, they might cut away from or not completely show. But this movie goes full force of some of these kill scenes, especially towards the back half of the film, which I was surprisingly really enjoyed, especially the way they were shot. Thought they were very well executed. So the kill scenes I thought were really good. I thought, again, all of our returning characters I thought were really good here. But this all comes down to the script and the screenplay. The whole thing about the Scream franchise is how meta they are to what things are going on in Hollywood, in society. Obviously, for example, in the last couple films, we had like the requels, like we had with 5 and 6, and the rules that we get with legacy sequels in today's climate, and what Hollywood loves to do in those movies. This movie is tackling AI. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to specifics why, how they go into AI and things of that nature. But it makes this an extremely messy script because you can definitely tell when things are not real and when things are real. And they don't really have much of a conversation really at all about AI other than it just exists in our society now. There's not that quippy, relatable, funny, meta nature dialogue that you see in the other Scream films. They're just tackling things instead of actually having something to say about what's going on in Hollywood and with horror and with society. That part I thought was extremely disappointing. I think the biggest issue here is I just didn't find any care for the new batch of characters, especially the teenage friend group in this movie. It's led by Isabel May as Tatum Evans. I think Isabel May is probably a more than capable actress. It's the first time I've seen her in anything. But for me, what really holds the movie back is Tatum, the character, is the most annoying character in this entire film. Sure, you understand that she wants to connect with her mother, but the way she acts, especially towards the last 30 minutes of the movie, is really annoying. And it was annoying a lot of people in my audience as well, who were very vocal during the film. It was just a character I didn't really care about. The people I couldn't care less about were her friend group. What's always separated the Scream films is when we meet our friend groups, if that's in the first 3 Scream movies or the new group in Scream 4, or of course the core 4 in Screams 5 and 6, you do care about all of those characters. You cared about in the first Scream film, Tatum and Sydney and Billy and Stu and Randy. They were a bunch of characters that were more than one-dimensional, had complexities to them, an unpredictable nature. Screams 5 through 6, you really didn't know, you had Randy's nephews, you had Billy Loomis's daughters. Those are really interesting dynamics as well in the previous Scream movies. This is definitely the most one-dimensional friend group we've had in the franchise, where you have a tech guy, you have someone who's addicted to crimes, crime documentaries and things of that nature. You have the theater person. They're all just very one note and forgettable. And it leads to you not really caring at all when characters are dying in the film. When there's twists and turns, you don't really care what's going on. And when there's actually these emotional, intense sequences where people are dying left and right, you just don't care. It's more forgettable slasher movie written all over this than truly impactful, which is what a lot of the top Scream movies do in this franchise, which is, yes, are they fun slasher movies? Yes, but you do care about who's living, who's dying, things of that nature. And then obviously for me, what really holds this movie back is the third act reveal is probably the most disappointing and boring choice of the entire franchise. Like I literally said it, this is really what they're going with when the reveal begins to happen towards the third act of the movie. Not every Scream movie relies on or is make or break on the reveal of the ghost face or ghost faces, right? And this movie isn't heavily reliant on this movie falling apart or not based on that. But when we actually get to the third act reveals and the explanation of why these people start or why this person starts doing these kills, you're kind of like, I didn't really care what was going on. And it might be the first time in the Scream franchise where I just did not care for the motive. I did not care for the people who were doing these things. The intensity was not there. Again, the kills are great. I love seeing the characters back on screen together. There were definitely some funny moments. And as I said, the kills are probably top tier for the franchise, but I think it's the most boring, uninspired script of the franchise, and it left me wanting a lot more. So overall, I'm giving Scream 7 a 2 out of 5 stars, a 44%. What are your guys' thoughts on Scream 7? Let me know down in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon.